Hello again everyone, it's Alison for another little video for you today. Hope everyone's alright. And again, another big hello to anyone who might be in Southport or Formby, any of my regulars who would normally be attending my exercise groups, obviously for usual reasons we're not there yet, but we're getting closer. Anyway, today's video is a balance video. It's a dynamic balance video, so I'm going to do some little exercises, some little drills that you can do easily at home. Before I get onto the exercises though, a couple of things I just want to talk to you about, and it's about your footwear whilst you are doing these exercises, doing these balance exercises. Today I am going to be doing these balance exercises just in my socks. I'm not going to be wearing any footwear today, and the reason for that is when we're doing these particular balance exercises, it allows me to have more proprioception in my foot. It allows me to have more awareness of what my foot is doing. It allows my foot to move more freely. So I'm using the very small joints, the very small muscles and tendons and the bones and the joints in your foot. It allows a greater range of movement. If I was doing these particular exercises wearing trainers or shoes or anything like that, yes, they offer great support, but it doesn't quite allow me the same range of movement if I was doing this either barefoot or just in a pair of socks, which I'm going to do today. So in my house, carpets, so doing these particular balance exercises in either barefoot or in socks, whilst you have got a carpet, I can really recommend that. Give it a go. If you intend to do these exercises in a room which has tiled floors or wooden floors or hard floors, do not do these exercises in either bare feet or in stocking feet or in socks. So tile floors, hard floors, you should be doing these exercises wearing appropriate footwear. For example, a pair of trainers or a pair of shoes. Don't be doing these balance exercises in footwear that doesn't have, for example, a full heel in the shoe or in the slipper. I know you can get some slippers that are like slip-ons, and therefore there's no support. There's no support around the heel. You will find it very, very difficult to do these exercises in slip-on shoes or slippers. So by all means, try doing these exercises in bare feet or in socks if you have got a carpeted surface. Otherwise, please wear appropriate footwear, but a type of footwear that is a full shoe, has support going all the way around the foot, and that includes the heel. It's much easier to show you in person than it is to try and explain to the video. Hopefully that makes sense. As always, when we're doing the exercises, if you need to take a breather, please take a breather. You can always come back to the video when you need. If something hurts or you're uncomfortable doing something, then please don't do it. Okay, I'm going to show you a few little modifications as we go along, and a few little options to make the exercises just a little bit more challenging if you want to. What else do I need to say? So today you will need a support. I'm going to use my radiator. You can use your wall, you can use your worktop, you can use a table. So something sturdy that isn't going to fall over the moment you place your hand on it. Okay? You good to go? You got somewhere where you can do your exercises today? You've decided whether you're going to do these barefoot. Remember, you can always watch the video first, then think, all right, okay, I see what she's getting at. Decide how you want to have your footwear or not, or decide in which room in the house you want to try these exercises. Then you can play the video again. Right, okay. Oh, seized up. Oh, there we go. So we're back here. Right. Okay. So just a little mention about your posture. We're standing up nice and tall. Just going to roll those shoulders back. So imagine that your spine is nice and tall. Imagine there's a piece of string coming out the top of your head and it's pulling you up towards the ceiling. That's just to help you visualize that nice tall posture rather than a little bit of a slump. Now you might have a little bit of a slump. Don't worry. I want you to pretend you are that supermodel. Imagine you are 6'3" tall. Just roll those shoulders back. There we go. You can practice that throughout the day. Standing up nice and tall. Okay, so dynamic balance exercises. You've got your support. We're going to try a tiptoe walk. So, posture, you're nice and tall. You've got your support. Your hand is resting lightly on your support. Remember, we're not leaning over. We haven't got all this excess weight going through our shoulder, and we're at a quirky angle. We're nice and tall. So from this position, please, nice and tall, up onto your tiptoes. Got it? So staying on those tiptoes, you are going to take 4 or 5 steps forward. So as much support as you have. When you get to the end of your support, you're going to come back down. You're going to turn around nice and steady. And we're going to try that again. So hand back on your support. Nice and tall with your posture. Up onto those tiptoes. Nice and steady now. Nice and gracefully. Taking those 4 or 5 steps forward. Your hand is still in contact with your support. Come back down. Turn around. When your hand is in contact with that support as you are moving forwards, remember you're not leaning forwards, you're not doing this with all your weight on your hands. You want you to control through your feet. I've got my socks on. So as I mentioned before, as I'm moving, all those tiny joints in my feet are getting a really good workout. Yes, I can do this exercise if I was wearing my trainers, but I'm not using all those joints, all those tendons to the fullest extent if I'm wearing trainers. Okay, let's make this a little bit harder now. If that is as hard as you can manage today, then carry on with your hand in contact with your support. If you want to, for that extra difficulty now, we can make it a little bit harder. We're going to come up onto our tiptoes. We're just going to raise our hand above our support. We can always put our hand back down if we need to. And again, posture, taking those 4 or 5 steps forward. When you get to the end, come back down, turn around, and we're going to do that again. So now you've got an idea of the difficulty when you take your hand off your support. It's up to you now. Either keep your hand in contact with your support, hand off the support, nice and tall, walking forward on those tiptoes. And then back down, come back round. I'm going to make it harder again if you want to. Remember, you can carry on just practicing, just raising that hand off the support if you want to. For added difficulty now, nice and tall, up onto your tiptoes. Move your hand if you want to. We're going to take those 4 or 5 steps forward. Stay up onto your tiptoes. 4 or 5 steps back. Use your hand if you want to. And then back down. Give your legs just a little bit of a shake. So a couple of options there. On the tiptoes, just forwards, just moving forwards, with or without your support. Or you can try moving forwards and backwards with or without your support. Okay, so far so good? Tip top. Let's make it a little bit harder now, even more so. So you've been moving forwards on your tiptoes. This time, we're going to move on our heels, so we're raising our toes up. This is more difficult because your centre of gravity is going backwards. When your centre of gravity goes backwards, there is that danger of overcooking and falling backwards. So be really, really careful with this one. If you just want to practice just staying in this still position, hand on your support with your toes off the ground, and then lowering back down. So just lifting those toes up, holding it for 5 seconds or so, and then lowering back down. That is absolutely fine. If you want to try the more dynamic version, then just please be careful of what furniture you've got around you, who else you've got in your household, pets who are wandering around, because there is always, as I say, that difficulty of just losing your balance and going backwards. Let's give it a go. We've got our support. We're thinking of our posture again. Hand on your support to start off with. Toes up. Try and maintain that posture. Avoid the temptation to stick your bum out. So keep your hips forward, and we're going to walk forwards. Walking forwards on your heels. Get to the end of your support. Turn around. Hand back on your support. Posture. Toes up. Walking forwards on those heels. Don't stick your bum backwards. I don't want to be seeing this. Okay? So, if you are happy enough practicing that, going forwards, in contact with your support, please continue that way. If you do want that added difficulty now, we're going to try and take our hand off the support. Remember, you can always put your hand back down if you need to, but we're not leaning on our support. So nice and tall, posture, got it? Toes up. Here we go, no pressure. Hand off your support, walking forwards. When you get to the end of your support, feet down, turn around. We'll try that again. You can put your hand back on your support just while you set yourself. Toes up, posture, hand off, walking forwards. Head forwards. Feet down when you get to the end of your support. Okay, do you know what's coming next? As always, if that's enough for you today, if that's the level that you're at for today, fine. Remember, take a break if you need to take a break. You don't need to do every single stage that I'm doing today. Okay, but if you do want to push yourself, maybe you've done this video a few times now and you want to hit that next level, here's what you can do. We'll do the forwards and backwards bits. So like we did on our tiptoes, this time on our heels. We'll do it first with our hand in contact with our support. So posture, hand in contact with our support, toes up. We're going to walk forwards, keeping our hand on our support, head forwards. When you get to the end of your support, don't put your toes down, backwards. Got it? When you get to the end of your support, just take a breath. We're going to try it again, this time without our hand on the support. This is probably one of the hardest things that we'll ever do. Right, we'll give it a go. Don't worry if you don't manage it, it's not the end of the world. It's a tricky exercise. Do what you can manage. Keep your hand in contact with the support if you need to. Put your hand back down on the support if you need to. So, we'll start off in contact with our support, lift our toes up, posture, and take our hand off as we go forwards. Hand off as we go backwards. And relax there. Phew, give your legs a little bit of a shake. Okay, how are we feeling? All right. So just before we finish, there's one final exercise I want to do, and that's combining those two exercises, but in a stationary position. So I just want you to think about your posture again. So this time your feet, they're underneath your hips. So we're not going wide. We're not feet together. We just want a little bit of separation between our feet so they're underneath our hips. We're going to roll our shoulders backwards. So just thinking about our posture again. Shoulders back. Head being pulled up towards the ceiling. Use your support to start off with. So we're going to combine those two exercises. When we come onto our heels, again, you may have that temptation, that urge to step back. So please just be wary of that. Please be aware of that. What we're going to do first of all is we set our postures, hand on our support. We're going to come onto our tiptoes. We're going to rock back, shifting our centre of gravity to lift our toes up. Heels up, toes up. Heels up, toes up. So you've got your centre of gravity moving forwards and backwards. And as I said earlier, if you overcook it, just be careful. Okay? As you're doing a couple of those, if you want to try and take your hand off your support as you move forwards and backwards, give it a go. Try and not stick your bum backwards. Just a couple of more of these. And steady there. Give your legs a little bit of a shake. Whew, we made it. How are we feeling? All right. So hopefully you get the idea of what I was talking about at the start about whether you wear footwear or not. Whatever you decide to do, the important thing is your safety, and that depends on your flooring, whether you're carpeted or whether you've got some sort of hard floor. Remember, if you've got hard floor, please wear appropriate footwear, something with a supportive heel around the back. If you are carpeted, then have a go in your bare feet or in your stockings, if it is safe to do so. Hopefully you enjoyed that little video, that little balance video. Practice it when you come back from your walk, or if you've done one of the other exercise videos, have a little go. Do what you feel safe doing. Importantly, enjoy it. And I'll see you again soon.